Maricopa County, Arizona, is the fulcrum of American politics. With over 2.5 million registered voters, the margins here are so tight they frequently dictate control of the United States Senate and decide the presidency itself. Because of that immense weight, the county has spent years under a microscope. Yet, despite intense political pressure and a barrage of right-wing conspiracy theories, the institutional Republicans running the voting apparatus successfully held the line and certified the results. Then came Justin Heap. In the most recent primary, this new brand of Republican candidate ousted the conservative incumbent, campaigning on a promise to fix a system he claimed was fundamentally broken. Heap's arrival immediately triggered an unprecedented institutional civil war, setting his office on a collision course with the very people tasked with running the county's elections. Turning Point USA and its associated PAC provided the heavy financing and organizational muscle for Heap's campaign, unseating a more moderate incumbent with a professional, national-scale ground game. This was part of a Turning Point initiative called Chase the Vote, a massive operation designed to replace institutional Republicans with strict MAGA loyalists in key swing states. By utilizing third-party tracking apps and a massive ground force to outregister opponents, the group has moved to consolidate power in previously mundane bureaucratic races across the state. Heap's election represents the first win in a broader national strategy, seizing the specific, localized bureaucratic machinery that handles voter registration and ballot processing. Once in power, Heap began testing the limits of his office. His first major procedural shift was unilaterally altering the way signatures are verified on mail-in ballots. By requiring workers to conduct more aggressive secondary reviews of questionable signatures, this change resulted in a massive spike in rejected ballots during his very first local election cycle. He then began running local voter rolls through a federal database run by the Department of Homeland Security, a system called SAVE, to hunt for potential non-citizens registered in the county. State officials have warned that this database is highly inaccurate for verifying voting eligibility, accusing the Recorder's office of using raw data to generate misleading headlines about the security of the rolls. This combination of administrative tweaks adds layers of friction to the standard voting process, creating a new environment of technical doubt heading into the general election. This aggressive maneuvering drew immediate pushback from the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, the body that splits election oversight duties with the Recorder. Heap responded to their resistance by bypassing traditional county attorneys and outsourcing his legal representation to America First Legal. This national conservative activist group is run by former Trump advisor Stephen Miller. The Republican county attorney soon filed legal actions to remove America First Legal, arguing they were operating as illegal, de facto deputy attorneys without authorization. As a result, local election oversight in America's most pivotal swing county has been effectively outsourced to a highly partisan national legal powerhouse. The institutional conflict eventually escalated from the courtroom into a physical security breach during a live ballot count in March. Members of Heap's staff entered a secured county election facility and removed a pre-tabulation ballot scanner, along with a handful of provisional ballot envelopes. By pulling sensitive equipment from the live tabulation center, they destroyed the chain of custody required by law, rendering a $70,000 machine permanently unusable for future elections. A special prosecutor was appointed, and armed sheriff's deputies arrived unannounced at the private homes of the Recorder's IT staff to serve them with criminal investigation notices for theft. The government office strictly responsible for securing the election is now under active criminal investigation for physically compromising it. The underlying motive driving these fights is total control over the county's election IT servers. The Board of Supervisors fears Heap is attempting to access and export localized voter data directly to national political operatives. This means the private data of over 2 million Arizonans, including their home addresses and party affiliations, is being treated as a partisan bargaining chip. As the midterms approach, the officials tasked with running the election in the most contested county in the country are too busy investigating and suing each other to cooperate. Heap's tenure has already eroded established chain of custody protocols and exposed vulnerable IT infrastructure to extreme partisan tension. If the coming election is close, this procedural chaos could serve as the primary evidence for national groups looking to challenge the results in court.